All right, good evening, Dorcas. Good evening, everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about consumer behavior and how it relates to their ability to make decision in the process of buying, your product or patronizing your service. So consumer behavior is very important. Understanding the behavior of consumers is key, especially for a marketer. Especially for a digital marketer, so to say. So what is the concept of consumer behavior? Basically, it is the study of how individual customers, groups, or organizations select, buy, and use goods and services to satisfy their needs and wants. So that is basically what we mean by consumer behavior. How customers or groups or organizations, they select a particular product or service, buy their particular product or service, and use goods and services to satisfy their needs and wants. That is what consumer behavior is. So why is it important to master the psychology of consumer in terms of, understanding how they buy and sell? So the concept of that is that out of 11,000 new products introduced by 77 companies, it is only 56% are present after 5 years. It's only, 56% are present after 5 years. So why so? Only 8% of the new product concept offered by 112 leading companies reached the market. 8% of the new product concept offered by this number of companies
Hello.
Yes, please.
So I didn't get what you said about this.
Yes, the first point is that we said out of 11,000 new products introduced by 77 companies, it is only 56% are present after 5 years. Let us assume with all the companies, that we have in Nigeria, especially in the consumer market, so you will see a lot of new products are being introduced, but after a few months, few years, those products will no longer be available in the market. Why so? We are going to understand the science behind that. Another point is that 8% of the new product, only 8% of the new product concept offered by 112 leading companies reached the market. So many companies will have, concept note of a product that they want to introduce into the market. So out of 112 of those concept notes, it is only 8% of the product that actually, reached the market. Why is it so? 32% failed to meet the marketing objective. So does the psychology continuum influence the consumer behavior? This is actually a question that we're going to look at and answer as we move down to this particular, presentation. So now we have to understand traditional buying process as compared to the new buying processes that, is available. So how does buyers used to follow a linear path? Buyers usually used to follow a linear path to purchase. For example, they don't know about your product or service, so they become aware of it. It means your marketing effort has led, to informing customers or prospective buyers about your product or service. That is, you created an awareness. You created what? An awareness. So if you created an awareness, it means If you created an awareness, it means people get to know about what? Your product or service. So how do you inform, or how do you create an awareness about your product or service? So there are different ways of doing that. Some of the ways I'm going to recommend are 4. Number 1 is landing pages or yellow page.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, am I not audible? You can't hear me?
I couldn't hear you. I did not get the explanation from I did not get the explanation.
Oh, sorry. I was saying. All right.
Still
Okay.
cannot hear you.
Sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So as I said, buyers used to follow a linear path to purchase. So it all begins from information and knowledge. Before, they don't know about your product or service, so they get to know about it through some of the marketing efforts that you have actually put in place. For example, your yellow pages or landing pages, or you have a printed advertisement or billboard. And also another way is storefront. You created a banner in your store, and then you actually have it so that people can get to understand your product or service. So that is some of the ways that you can use to basically create an awareness. And most of these are traditional marketing, ways of creating traditional awareness. The second one, after buyers do know about your product, they are now aware, is consideration. How do they do that? They start by calling somebody or visiting your store. If you have a sales agent, they will contact the sales agent. If you have a physical office or store, they'll basically visit you and have a look at the product or service that you offer. That is consideration. Now, the third point is intent. They now decided to make purchase. Maybe they have categorized it in based on their needs and wants. Based on their needs and wants, right? So they will ask you for quotation, and also compare goods in store. When they come to the store, they will have to make comparison and see, okay, what are the other available options that is there for them to consider. When they call your sales agent, they will have they basically ask for that, for a what? For a quotation. That is an invoice, or rather a pro forma invoice, so that they can have a look at the price, and then whether if it is within their budget or not. The last part is decision. If they make decision, they will actually receive an order. They will request for an order from your sales agent, or they will actually come to the store and make the purchase so that they can get their items and pay for it. So this is how the buying process actually takes place, and this is how it's actually occurring. So now what actually disruption has happened in terms of, by technology? What does technology brought about in terms of disrupting the buying process? So let us see this particular slide. So digital disrupted buying process, now they use the internet as a hub. Instead of visiting your office, doing ABC, all those process, from awareness to consideration to decision to, to intent to decision. Now, what are those processes that, the digital technology and internet has brought to us? Now, the first thing usually start with social media, okay? It basically start with that. So based on the social media, you can actually get a recommendation from a friend, or basically through searching on the social media platform or what have you. All right. Another option is mobile, which is usually 41% research and purchase on a smartphone. It shows that most of the things that people buy, they use their smartphones. Display advertisement, which is 51% of consumers learn about new products from online advertising. So most of Google advertisements now, Facebook advertisements, Instagram, TikTok, and what have you. So display ads play pivotal role, in disrupting the traditional, buying process. 19% go to store actually and view it. So you see only few people like drive and go to store basically. So that is now becomes a kind of an olden way of doing stuff. Online review. 77% look at online reviews before making a purchase. Sometimes if you want to buy an item, you are going to look at the rating. What other people are saying about that particular item. How are they finding the service? Are they enjoying it? Is it qualitative and stuff like that? So all these are, some of the things that, customers actually look at. Online video, 62% of UK population watches YouTube. And I think in Nigeria, it is almost the same or more than that. And it should be more than that, honestly speaking, because a lot of people watch, video on YouTube, and, YouTube ad is now becoming very popular and very important way of reaching target audience. So after all this, what next is purchase in store or purchase online? So majorly purchases online now has dominated the purchasing in store. So this is the disrupted, and I mean how, basically, technology has disrupted the buying process. And when you look at it at each and every stage, you as a digital marketer, you have a very good role, a very pivotal role that you play, in reaching that particular, customer. And it's very important, to understand how you can align your strategy to map out the various channels that, customers or consumers are been using, right? Well, this is the generic buying processes. Usually customers go through a decision-making process when buying a product. I believe that is very common, and that is usually the way that people make decision about. A very organized person, will always have list of needs and wants, for himself, for his business, for his household. So that basically is what will fall aligned or in order with the buying processes, whether if it is digital or traditional, or it could be generic. So basically, at a point, the customer doesn't have an idea about a product, or a service. So secondly, they become aware. So when the customers become aware, they now develop interest. And of course, that is obtainable through an information search, okay? Thereby making decision, and henceforth purchase is made. And then lastly, post-purchase, like whether the customer like it or dislike it, which will influence future decisions. Okay, so all this at each level, you have a role to play as a digital marketer. So what are the nature of consumer behavior? It is influenced by direct and indirect factors. Consumer behavior is not static. Of course, it's dynamic, it changes. Varies from region to region and country to country. Of course, there are so many factors, that influences, the consumer behavior, right? For example, like now it is December, you cannot compare, the behavior of, our people, like in Nigeria, I mean, in all parts of the world, as compared to their behavior, like in March, March is actually the first 3 months, it's basically first quarter of the year, while December and the last quarter of the year is a festive period. People are moving down from one place to another for so many events. There are so many celebrations that is taking place. As such, the buying behavior changes as well. So insightful to the marketer. So there has to be, those behavior has to be insightful to the marketer. And then factors which influence consumer behavior. What are the factors that influence the behavior of customer? Of course, the marketing factors. How do you design your promotion? How do you design your product? What is the price? Of course, the promotion also, packaging, positioning, and channel disruption. How do you disrupt the channel through which you are reaching out, to the prospective buyers or to your consumers? There is also personal factors, the age, gender, education, and income. All these are quite very important, as a digital marketer to understand, and it's going to help in making fantastic strategy. Psychological factors, buying motives, perception of the product, and attitude toward the product. This is also important. Situational factors, time factors, social surroundings, physical surrounding at the time of purchase, social factors, social status, reference group and family, cultural factors, and what have you. So all these factors, when you look at them critically, they will help you to shape and write a very aligned, strategy that will give you a fantastic result. For example, if you have, say for example, you are a computer seller, you sell computers, okay? So if you sell computers and then the area where you are living is majorly occupied by, higher institution students, so if that is the environment you actually live in, then you need to understand their buying power. Of course, student doesn't have much money. You should make sure that you bring computer that is very affordable, except for those that, is going to be purchased by their parents. Okay, so those are very, very important. And for example, you are also, you're promoting like women wears, for example. If you are promoting women wears, then you also have to understand the design is of important, the color combination, the packaging, as well as the channel as well. Then the personal factors is also important. You need to understand, 50-year-old woman as compared to 19-year-old lady, their test is quite different, and as well as their income is quite different. So that is also important for you to understand and put into consideration. I hope it is making sense. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now, what are the social factors that influence buying? There are 6 universal heuristics. That is mental rules of thumb that shoppers use to process information and make decisions when social shopping. The following, there are 6 as we mentioned. These are following the crowd. Most of the shoppers do follow the crowd, especially, the young people. They actually tend to follow their peers, all right? So you need to understand what is the popular product or service in town that, people are buying. So understanding that is quite very important. Like now, Xmas is approaching. This Xmas is approaching. It's very, very important for somebody that want to target Xmas celebrant to basically understand what people are looking at in terms of the kind of wares, the food that is going to be used. If you are an event planner, what are those things that people would like to have in their celebration, during their celebration. So it's quite important to understand what is currently trending in town. Then following the authority, being consistent, going after scarce stuff, following those you like, repaying favors. All these are very, very important to, understand so that you can actually be able to make a fantastic strategy. So social proof, follow the crowd. Humans often look to what others are doing or have done and take cue from them. When something stands out as popular or dominant, we instinctively perceive that as social proof that it is the correct, most valid option. So what is the application? Application of this is actually influencer marketing, wish list, popularity list, testimonials. I hope I want to get your insight about this, Dorcas, please. What can you tell me about, follow the crowd? I mean, based on the explanation we give and your experience, in the world of purchase and shopping.
Okay, like following the crowd is actually very true.
Yes. Hello?
Is that anything that comes out, every girl wants to. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, I said I've noticed, most especially from the girls' side,
Yes.
that every single dress that comes out or any single thing that is raining as at a time, everybody wants to get that thing. Everybody wants to wear that. They want to follow the trend. So I believe that is what this follow the crowd is all about. And we can see even in the lives of celebrities, maybe what they see this celebrity wear, that's what they also want to wear. And before you know, it goes viral.
That is very right. So you see, it's important to understand this as as a marketer, okay? At least even if you want to introduce a new product or service, you can logically start studying the celebrants, and so many people, so you can understand which product you can actually introduce and at which time, right? So this
Yes,
is
sir.
really important. So application of follow the crowd, is influencer marketing. You can basically, if you have a unique product that you want to introduce, for example, if you are in Lagos, or let me say if you are anywhere in Nigeria, if you want to introduce a new dress, for example, and you get Davido to wear that dress and sing a song, I think that will also help you a lot, isn't it? Because he's very popular and
Exactly.
he's well known in the country. Not only in the south or whatever, all over
Yes.
the nation, even in the north here, a lot of people listen to his music, and he's very popular across the world and Africa. So that is one thing. Wish list, is another thing. People can actually express interest that they wish to have actually gotten this particular item, and this is technology based, right? Popularity lists,
Yes.
testimonials, and stuff like that. All these are very, very important. Somebody buy your product and he enjoy it or she enjoy it. They now give you fantastic word and you put them on your website. That is also going to encourage many people. Hence, the application of that. Second point is the authority. Follow the authority. Okay, our minds are hardwired to value scarce resources, isn't it? We always want to wear something that is very unique, something that is very distinct. We don't want to see something.
I'm on the wrong slide.
Pardon?
I'm on the wrong slide.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry. So people have a natural tendency to defer to the conclusion of an expert or authority, regardless of what they say. I believe that is clear. So there is a tendency to save us time and energy thinking things through by making use of specialist knowledge, experience, and expertise of authorities. So what are the various avenues? Referral programs will help us follow the authority, social media reviews, user forums, etc. So what this point is basically trying to educate us as digital marketers is basically for us to understand how reviews can influence decision in terms of what people are saying, or how an expert review, let me say, basically, not just an ordinary review, an expert review. If a subject matter, in IT recommended a training program for you, I think you will feel more at home. You will be more content to go to that recommendation than an ordinary person, isn't it? Who, for
Sorry,
example,
sir.
yeah, or a friend uses a particular data plan and she said, this data plan is quite good. It's actually cheap and it's you get a lot of value from it. Chances are next time if you are buying data, you'll switch to that particular data plan, right? So that is
Yes,
basically follow the authority. So referral programs is an example of follow the authority, social media reviews, user forums, and etc. Scarcity. Scarce stuff is.
excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, for this follow the authority, I did not really get it. In this context, who are the authority, or who is the authority?
The authority are the experts, are the subject matters in the field. Okay, let's say Professor Yemi Oshubanjo, for example, now wrote an article about a political science program in University of Chicago, and he recommended that as a fantastic program that is good for the youth who want to become politicians tomorrow. So what do you think? You know, if somebody like you, for example, if you want to become that kind of person tomorrow, won't you like love to go for that particular program with University of Chicago?
Yes.
Definitely that's going to be nice because, you know, Yemi Oshubanjo is a good politician. You know, of course, somebody who has become a vice president and do very well a little bit, for example, and that would be nice. You know, if he writes something about it, you would love to definitely join that particular program. Or an English student, you know, that want to go for a master's program in any university, then, you know, he read an article by, you know, this professor, this eloquent professor, I forgot his name, the English professor, the popular English professor, maybe you can help me remember this guy. I can't remember his name, but he's very known, very popular English professor from, I think, Ibadan or Lagos. So basically, an English student got a recommendation from a very well-renowned English professor. So that program, you know, chances are that guy will actually second to the fact that this is a very good program. So the authority basically is a specialist, you know, in terms of knowledge or subject or expert or subject matter, you know, in terms of a particular, you know, point of view or a program or domain of knowledge, for example. So the avenues where this could be important is referral programs. You know, if for example, you know that you are taking this digital marketing program, I don't know, towards the end, you know, I will get a feedback from you. So if what we are doing here, what we are trying to do here is good, you might tend to refer someone to us that, no, I take this program and I found it very useful. It added a lot of value, right? Social media reviews and user forums, I believe these are very clear, right? And straightforward. Oh, number 3 is scarcity. Scarce stuff is good stuff. Our minds are hardwired. Our mind are hardwired. You know, scarce stuff is good stuff. So our minds are hardwired to value scarce resources. We instinctively assign more value to opportunities as they become less available, part out of fear of potential loss. Okay. Now what this particular thing is trying to introduce to us. Hello, Dorcas, please just give me a second. Let me call somebody. Hello. Hello, Muhammad. Walaikum salam. Na gajiya Muhammad, sorry, ina class ne kuma na'am. Ina yin class ne, online class nake yi, shi yasa nace zan kira ka. Can I call you back, please?
Okay.
Sorry. I'm back. It's somebody that just called me and he has been disturbing. Okay. All right. So this particular thing, you know, it is just trying to capitalize on our human nature. Okay. So the importance of this is that digital directories / feeds, for example, more of social media feeds, exclusive group buys / deals, discount campaigns. All these are some of the examples of scarce stuff is good stuff or scarcity, and how, you know, you can apply, you know, this information in your marketing strategy. Liking, follow those you like. Humans have a natural inclination to emulate and agree with people we like, admire, or find attractive, partly because it builds social bonds and trust, and partly because it is part of impression management, managing our image and identity by association. So deal feed, news feed, pick list, share with your network, shop together tools are all important things that will help you to reach out this. For example, if somebody, like when you read about an article on Facebook, say, or LinkedIn, and then you like it, all the people that like something that you like and they are following you, they will definitely see that, right? So that is another thing. Or you follow someone in a particular subject matter, on LinkedIn, then if I follow you, they will tell me you also follow this guy, so I should follow if I would like. So that is, so to say, an example of that. Consistent, be consistent. So it is important when you are promoting a product or service, you should be consistent across the platform, from the content, from the service delivery. There has to be consistency on that. Okay. So what that means, if you have a website, the content that you have on the website, Twitter, Instagram page, TikTok, YouTube, and most of these platforms, your content should be consistent. Everything should be consistent, and it's very, very important. Reciprocity, repay favors. In terms of content marketing, referral programs, good customer service, online PR, all of these things, it's important for you to repay favors. If somebody follow you, you should follow them back. If a business supported you digitally, and which is a way of promotion, you should actually support them back. If it is a referral program, then you have to give the commission that you promise. Good customer service, there has to be good customer service between your sales agent and the customers. These are the 6, basically 6 factors that influence buying, and I hope you find them very useful, and hope you can implement them in your marketing strategy. Thank you very much. We'll join back in 2 minutes.
Okay, sir.